Some people say, oh, I'd rather save for a 20% deposit because I don't want to pay the LMI, which is the lender's mortgage insurance. Why would it be better to use a 10% deposit and then pay the 2% LMI in some cases? Well, let's say, for example, you want to make some money and you want to get into a market which is moving right now. A few markets in Australia moving very quickly right now. You could buy a property for, let's say, $600,000. And it's not a joke. In the next, let's say, 3 to 6 months, that property could go up in value by 10 to 15%. Let's say you wanted to get into the market, you didn't have that much savings, maybe you had $70,000, $80,000, you could almost buy that property now. It really depends on your savings rate as well. But what happens if you lose out in that market, if you don't get into that market sooner? That same property which you had the deposit for, including LMI, you could have paid the 2% LMI, it's already gone up by 10 to 15%. You've already made money in that property. Now, if you wait for a 20% deposit, how long is it going to take you to save the other $60,000 to $70,000? Probably take you a lot longer than 6 months. And now what's happened to that property? Well, that same property that you were looking at for $600,000, 6 months later is now maybe $660,000 to $680,000. So what happens to your deposit? Well, now you need even more deposit. In most cases, not in all cases, but in most cases, you really want to try and get into the market as soon as possible. But sometimes it's just worth doing the 10%, as long as you can handle the cash flow, and you need to calculate that. But sometimes it's worth paying the 10% deposit, paying the LMI, so you can enter the property market, because the property market is usually going to move a lot faster than your ability to save a 20% deposit.